It's okay for us to have a drink because today we are celebrating the life and legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. I want to go around the panel and ask, what does this day mean to you? Vivica, let's start with you first.
Gosh, MLK Jr. Day. You just wake up and feel proud. Martin Luther King Jr. made so many sacrifices that we are able to have the rights today and to vote and he just sacrificed so much for us. So for me, it's a day of Black excellence, to just celebrate a really good man. And I'm glad that they are finally giving him his statues, from that beautiful one that is in Washington, D.C. I had to stop by and go take a look at it. And I remember on my way to the airport, looking at it and feeling so proud because there's so many monuments and statues for, let's say, for our Caucasian forefathers, that it was good to have a brother up in there representing, standing proud.
That's right. Thank you so much. Lisa Ray, what does this day mean to you?
It says strength to me. It says power to me. I'm thankful for him because when you think of such a powerhouse of a man, you think about him, how he led so many people, the Million Man March. That to me was it when he did it, because it was like a slew of supporters out there for the cause. And I feel like also pretty much like what we feel like here on Fox Soul with Cocktails with Queens. We are very opinionated and we stand on what we said and we said what we said, you know what I mean? And so He did not care about what a lot of other people said and thought how he should have been, could have been. He said, this is what I'm for. This is what I'm fighting for. My people will be heard and seen. And he stuck to it. And so many people were like, you're going to get killed. You're going to have, your family is going to be in trouble. And so much would have been. And he said, I need to do that. So for that, when you go against the odds and you're able to really be successful and succeed in what your purpose is, I'm waiting for the next man that we can honor that holds a position like Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. did.
That's right. And Selena, what do you think about this day? What does it mean to you?
So many things. And, echoing off of Lisa Ray, courage, reflection, what Vivica said, sacrifice. And a big on reflection. It takes me to civil rights movement, and it takes me to truth, something that we're not very big on these days in terms of our government. So truth is something that Dr. King was, he was adamant about, telling the truth, regardless of the consequence. And reflection, it just, on this day and days like this in general, Black History Month, which is also coming, you just want to sit and think about where we've come from, how far we've come, and be so thankful to God. And then you also want to reflect on how far we have to go, because there's still a lot of work that we have to do. So I just, MLK Day just reminds you of, it makes you think of how far you've come and how far you need to go and what needs to happen in order for you to get to the next level. So it means so many things, you know what I'm saying? And it in our culture, you know what I'm saying? For me personally, as a Black woman, you know what I'm saying? Strength.
I'm going to say this about Martin Luther King Jr. When people pass or are murdered, it's so easy for everyone to jump on the bandwagon and say how great of a person that man was. But how were they when they were around? And when he was alive, it wasn't always like that. And to me, that shows how much stronger of a human being you had to be to stick to your guns about what you believe in, despite all the hate you got from a lot of people who eventually came around once you passed. Then they were like, oh, he was a good man. But he got a lot of pushback when he was alive. And to stand strong when you had people that were against your message shows an extreme amount of strength and resilience. That march on Washington that he had, that inspired the Million Man March that I was at 1995, was amazing. And a lot of white folks tend to cherry pick the parts of the speech that they want to hear that makes it feel comfortable for them. But he said a lot of radical stuff as well. But he was right, y'all. And he stood on his ground despite the pushback. Do you know how hard that is in a world where people want you to cave in and go with the masses?
Yes.
This man's family was in danger. He had death threats. And he still stayed strong and he pushed for nonviolence. And you know, the fact this man, they don't make him like that anymore.
And,
know.
and to simply say that his wife stood strongly behind him with this fight
Yeah.
shows a lot of strength on top of support. So
Yep.
this was his purpose. Like, look, I got the T-shirt on.
That's right.
Come on,
Represent, girl.
Yes,
And
yes.
can I just say his wife, Coretta Scott King, it was not easy being married to this man. He was not a perfect man. I'm going to say this personally, but he had the right message for us and for America. And she stayed so strong and so solid despite all that she had to deal with and the threats and the racism and the stuff that happens in marriages.
Yeah.
This woman is just as impressive as he is. I'm going to say that.
Yeah,
I'm going to say that.
true. Fact.
Agree.